Okay, good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss the chapter States of Matter. We studied there in 11th standard. Actually, in the States of Matter, in the chapter we have to study different states of matter, fundamental states of matter, solid, liquid, gas. In this, the solid state you studied separately in chapter there in 12th standard, all the properties and all. And the 11th standard you mainly studied gases and liquids. And before studying gases and liquids, first we studied the interaction between these different states of matter there in the earth crust. Interaction between particles. What are the different types of interaction between particles? There you studied dispersion or London force. It is a temporary interaction for the existence of atoms. That is London or dispersion force. In the case of all atoms, they are stable. And center part is nucleus and electrons are equally distributed around the nucleus. That is the stable condition of an atom. But under any circumstances, an unequal distribution is there in the electron cloud that will create a charge separation there in the atoms. That unequal distribution influences the neighboring atom also. As a result, there arises an interaction between them. That interaction is called dispersion force or London force. This interaction is inversely proportional to 1 by r raised to 6. Only slight interaction, dispersion force. Then you studied dipole-dipole interaction, that is in polar molecule. If there is an electronegative difference between atom, then there arises dipole-dipole interaction. Then dipole-induced dipole interaction, that is interaction between a polar molecule and a non-polar molecule. Dipole-induced dipole interaction. Then dipole-ion interaction. Dipole ion and a dipole. A dipole molecule means a partial plus and partial negative minus. So that will interact with ion dipole interaction. Then finally you studied a hydrogen bond. In many chapters you studied a hydrogen bond. The chemical bonding also you studied a hydrogen bond. Attractive force that bind hydrogen atom of one molecule and electronegative atom of the other molecule of the same type or different type. That is hydrogen bond. There are two types, intermolecular and intramolecular. Intermolecular, many examples: isophotes on water, alcohol, organic. Some organic compounds are soluble in water, some organic compounds having higher boiling point compared to other. All you studied. That is the applications of hydrogen bond. Then intramolecular hydrogen bond, one example you can take it is orthonitrophenol or salicylic acid. Intramolecular hydrogen bonding, orthohydroxybenzoic acid or orthonitrophenol within the molecule. Okay. So, in the one application when we are noting is orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol can be separated by steam distillation. Why? Because orthonitrophenol is steam volatile due to intramolecular hydrogen bonding. These are the interaction first part. Then you take in gases and you study gas laws. And before that, measurable quantities all and their conversions also you must know. Pressure we are measuring in atm, bar, pascal. All the conversions also you must know. 1 atm is equal to 1.01325 bar, or 1 atm is equal to 1.01235 into 10 to the power 5 pascal. Then 8 mm mercury and that conversion and everything you must know. Measurable quantities and their unit and conversions. Then we studied gas laws. First one we studied which law? Boyle's law. What is the expression we studied for Boyle's law? P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Then we studied Charles' law. V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. Then Gay-Lussac also introduced the same relation. P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2. The relation also there. P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by. Then Avogadro's law. V proportional to N. Volume is directly proportional to number of particles, number of moles. Then ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. PV is equal to mass by molar mass into RT. So P is equal to rho RT by m in terms of density. Mass by volume is density. So P is equal to rho RT by m. R, all the values of R. Liter atmosphere 0.0821, liter bar 0.0831, then erg 8.314 into 10 to the power 7, then joule 8.314 joule, calorie 1.987, calorie, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse. Okay, that all values you must know are ideal gas equation. Then Graham's-Lavaux diffusion. Graham's law. R1 by rate to diffusion is equal to root of d2 by d1, ratio of their density, or root of m2 by m1. Vapor density and molar mass. W of vapor density is molar mass. So this is a relation for Graham's law. Then you studied Dalton's law of partial pressure. All the expression you must know. So you also make a list like this, all the formulas with the heading, and you have to make the list. Then Dalton's law of partial pressure. Dalton's law of partial pressure. Total pressure is equal to sum of partial pressures. Three gases are there. Three are non-reacting gases. So the sum of the partial pressures, individual pressure applied by each gases is called partial pressure. So P is equal to PA plus PB plus PC. By applying ideal gas equation, we can find out partial pressure of A, RT by V. So RT by V into Na plus Nb plus Nc. എത്ര number of particles gases ഉണ്ടോ അതിന്റെ number of moles add ചെയ്തിട്ട് into RT by V you will be getting the pressure. Dalton's law of partial pressure. From a mixture of gas only we are using partial pressure. In a mixture of gas, the pressure applied by the individual gases are called partial pressures. Then you studied after that ideal gas equation, kinetic gas equation, modified form of ideal gas equation. What is kinetic gas equation? PV is equal to 1 by 3 m1 u square. Modified form of ideal gas equation. Mass into number of molecules. This becomes equal to molar mass. 1 by 3 capital M u square. U is what? RMS velocity. Root means square velocity of the gas molecule. Then after that you studied molecular velocities. What are the different molecular velocities you studied? So I am giving the relation V. V is most probable velocity. Most probable velocity. How can we calculate the most probable velocity? Is velocity possessed by maximum fraction of molecule at a given temperature. Velocity possessed by maximum fraction of molecule. That velocity is called most probable velocity. Velocity possessed by maximum fraction of molecule at a given temperature. How we can calculate the most probable velocity? V is equal to root of 2RT by M. Then next one. See this one, you can get a symbol C, most probable velocity. C is equal to. Then we can take it V, average velocity. How we can calculate average velocity? V is equal to root of 8RT by pi m. Then you studied U, RMS velocity. Root means square velocity. How we can calculate RMS velocity? Root of 3RT by m. Root of 2RT by m, root of 8RT by pi m, root of 3RT by m. All the velocity formula you must know. Then the relation between, when you are taking the ratio C is to V is to U is equal to 1 is to 1.128 is to 1.224. So relation between C, V and U. Three different types of molecular velocities: most probable velocity, average velocity and RMS velocity. Then this velocity is also related as V is equal to, V is one, average velocity is equal to 0.921 into RMS velocity, or C I taken is most probable velocity is equal to 0.817 into RMS velocity. This is the relation between these velocities. We not confused these three terms. C I taken is most probable velocity, average velocity and RMS velocity. RMS velocity we are giving most commonly U. These two, any symbol we can give it, but not confused. V is average velocity 0.921 into RMS velocity. Then C is most probable velocity 0.817 into U. Then after that you studied deviation of real gas from ideal behavior. By all the real gases are not showing ideal behavior because they are deviating from ideal behavior due to two faulty assumptions there in the kinetic theory of gases. What are the two faulty assumptions you studied? Volume of a gas molecule is negligible when compared to total volume of the gas. Then next faulty assumption they given is there is no force of attraction between gas molecule. There is no force of attraction between gas molecule. See, actually these two conditions are correct or valid at a low pressure and high temperature. At a low pressure, the volume normally high. At that condition, volume of a gas molecule we can neglect compared to total volume. At that condition, we can absorb the gas molecule and we can see that there is no force of attraction between gas molecule. They are freely moving, independently moving. But at a high pressure, the same gas molecule we can condense into liquid state or finally into solid also. That means there arises interaction between them. So the real gases show ideal behavior at a low pressure and high temperature, and they deviate from ideal behavior at a high pressure and low temperature. The condition you must know. Okay, then after that, which property studied there in gases? Any other property? Deviation of real gas from ideal behavior. After that, temperature, critical temperature, critical pressure and critical volume. Temperature above which a gas cannot be liquefied, even high pressure is applied. TC, PC and VC and their relation. Formula also studied now, PZ, TZ and VC. Then critical temperature, actually it is based on liquefaction of gases. The gases having high critical temperature is more when it is readily liquefied. Suppose I am having three gases, normal gases like hydrogen, oxygen, they having low critical temperature, so it is difficult to liquefy. But when you are taking carbon dioxide, ammonia and sulfur dioxide, SO2, the high critical temperature is high, so it readily liquefy. Carbon dioxide also somewhat high critical temperature, so that also liquefy. Compared to hydrogen, ammonia, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Easily liquefied is sulfur dioxide. Difficult to liquefy is hydrogen. This also based on their critical temperature. And the volume occupied by the critical temperature is critical volume, and the pressure is critical pressure. Okay. Then after that you studied regarding liquids. Liquid also having some properties. Most important is vapor pressure and then boiling point. Then you study surface tension and viscosity. Okay. Then vaporization is a natural phenomenon. At all temperature it will take place. Boiling is a boiling takes place only at a fixed temperature, because when the vapor pressure becomes equal to atmosphere pressure, that time it will boil. Liquid having standard boiling point and normal boiling point. Standard boiling point, that is atmospheric pressure we can express in terms of 1 atm and 1 bar. When you are taking bar, standard boiling point and normal boiling point, 100 degrees Celsius 1 atm pressure we are taking. Then standard boiling point is 97.7 degrees Celsius only standard boiling point you are getting in the case of water. Then next we noted viscosity and surface tension, two important properties. Surface tension, all liquid have a tendency to minimize surface area. So for unit surface area, what work it has to do on the surface, that is known as surface tension. That is the reason liquid drops are appearing in which shape? Spherical in shape. Due to surface tension, all liquid have a tendency to minimize its surface area. force per unit area. Similar to that, pressure, surface tension will be there. Then viscosity. Some liquid have a tendency to restrict their flow, because when it come in contact with the surface, their friction will be more. To reduce the friction, the tendency of flow will also reduce. That type of liquids are called viscous liquid, and you know how to calculate the coefficient of viscosity of viscous liquid, eta. Okay, so coefficient of viscosity, you know, calculate. Viscosity means actually their force acting on the surface on force. Viscous force, friction is acting. That force is directly proportional to area contacted and also directly proportional to velocity gradient. What is velocity gradient? Change in velocity between the layers by change in distance. Layer by layer. Layer by layer from the surface. Actually, this layer, if it is in contact with the surface, it has least velocity due to its friction, and the change in velocity between these two layers, we can take it as du, velocity gradient. Actually, the second layer, the velocity is u, then this layer will be u plus dv, and this layer will be u minus dv or du, change in velocity. Du is the change in velocity. There is a gradual variation in their velocity. That type of flow is known as laminar flow, viscous flow or laminar flow. And velocity gradient is change in velocity by change in distance. The distance between the layer is dz. Small value only will be getting. So F is equal to eta, a constant eta into A into du by dz. So eta is called coefficient of viscosity, F into dz by du. If when you are substituting the values, you will be getting force, Newton per meter square, distance, velocity, and also we are using Poise, coefficient of viscosity, unit Poise also there. So that concept also you must thorough. These are the main contents. See, we studied the chapter that is ideal gas equation and the modified form kinetic gas equation, PV is equal to 1 by 3 m1 u square. U is RMS velocity. Then finally, kinetic gas equation also modified by van der Waals equation. It is a modified form of kinetic gas equation, van der Waals equation. What is van der Waals equation? P plus an square by v square into v minus nb is equal to nRT for n mole of a gas. 1 mole ആണെങ്കിൽ n ന് പകരം 1 എന്ന് കൊടുക്കുക. A and B are van der Waals constant. A for pressure correction and B for volume correction. And the value of A depends on the interaction between the particles. A value depends on the interaction between the particles and B depends on size or volume of the particle. A interaction between the particle, B size or volume of the particle. A and B. Pressure correction and volume correction. Then the van der Waals constant A and B in terms of critical temperature, critical pressure and critical volume. This is the formula. Tc is equal to 80 divided by 27 RB. A and B van der Waals constant. Tc critical temperature, Pc critical pressure, A divided by 27 B square. Vc is equal to 3B. B van der Waals constant and A and B. This relation also you must know. When you are substituting here, A and B are there. B value in terms of Vc you are getting, so this B you have to substitute here. A from this you have to substitute here. So you are getting the relation between a single equation, you are getting Tc, Pc and Vc relation. This B is equal to Vc by 3. This one you have to substitute in the position of B. Then A is equal to Pc into 27 B square. This value you have to substitute here. So you are getting the relation Tc, Pc and Vc. That also you must know. Okay, these are the formulas you have to study in the chapter. All the formulas, because based on that formula you will be getting the numericals. Then, so write some questions based on the topic. The question number 1. At 27 degrees Celsius, a gas is compressed to half of its volume. At 27 degrees Celsius, a gas is compressed to half of its volume. At what temperature it must be heated so that gas occupies just its original volume. So at 27 degrees Celsius, initial temperature given is 300 Kelvin, 27 plus 273. A gas is compressed to half of its volume. Suppose the initial volume is V1, then V2 is V1 by 2. It must now be heated so that the gas occupies just its original volume. So initial volume is V or V1 when you are taking is, now the volume is reduced to half, so that the gas occupies that is original volume. So what will be the temperature? Temperature you have to find out. What relation we can use it? V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. So T2 you have to find out. T1 is 300 degrees Celsius. To what temperature it's must now heated to so that the gas occupies just its original volume. So T2 you have to find out. So V1 is equal to initial volume we are considering as V1 itself, and V2 is V1 by 2. So what will be T2? V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. So what is the answer you are getting? The options are given in 54 degrees Celsius, 600 degrees Celsius, 327 degrees Celsius, 323 Kelvin. 3 are in degrees Celsius. So if you are getting this one answer, you are getting in Kelvin scale now. Then Kelvin scale can convert into degrees Celsius also. So the answer you are getting is 327 degrees Celsius. Formula V2 by T2. V1 ആയിട്ട് T1 300 Kelvin, V2 V1 by 2. ഇപ്പോൾ V1 and V1 cancel ആയിപ്പോയി. Then you will be getting T2. Okay, then next question. A gas is found to have a density of 1.8 gram per liter at 760 mm mercury and 27 degrees Celsius. The gas will be then options are given. First one is O2, second one is CO2, third one is NH3 and fourth one is SO2. So identify the gas, which gas will be. Their conditions are given: temperature, pressure. How to identify which one is the gas? So by using ideal gas equation you can find out one molecular mass of the solution, molecular mass of the gas. P is equal to rho RT by M. Find out M. All are given. Pressure is in mm mercury. So 760 mm mercury means 180 m. So 180 m R value you can substitute 0.0821. Density is given in the question gram per liter. Then temperature to 300 Kelvin. Then you will be getting molar mass. And when you are calculating the molar mass, which value you are getting, then that corresponding gas we can take it. This each gas molecular mass also you know. Oxygen 32, this is 44, NH3 17 and SO2 you can find out. So here when you are calculating M, you will be getting the value is 44. So the gas is carbon dioxide. P is equal to rho RT by M. Identify the gas on. We can, density is given, so density pressure is given, temperature is given. So density, pressure, temperature relation we studied. P is equal to rho RT by M. So M you can find out. Then next question, the vapor densities of methane CH4, O2 CH4 and O2 are in the ratio of 1:2. Are the ratio on vapor density are in the ratio 1:2. The ratio diffusion of oxygen and methane at the same temperature and pressure will be rate of diffusion. Rate of diffusion is in the ratio of, they are asking the rate of diffusion ratio 1:2, 2, 2:1, 3, 1:1.424 and 4, 1.424:1, 414. So two gases, their vapor densities are given. The vapor densities are in the ratio 1:2. What is the rate of diffusion? Rate of diffusion R1 by R2 is equal to root of D2 by D1. That is equal to root of M2 by M1. അപ്പോൾ molecular massന്റെ ratio എടുക്കുക. CH4 O2. CH4 ആകുമ്പോൾ 16 O2 ആകുമ്പോൾ 32. So what is the answer you are getting? Yes, 1:1.414. The next question. Dalton's law of partial pressure will not apply to which of the following mixture of gases? Dalton's law is not applicable in which of the following mixture? The options given, first one is hydrogen and nitrogen. Hydrogen and nitrogen. Second option, hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen and carbon dioxide, hydrogen and oxygen. Dalton law is not applicable. See, first option given is what? Hydrogen and nitrogen. Is it room temperature hydrogen and nitrogen is combining? No. They combined at high pressure, high temperature and the presence of catalyst. Haber's process is studied. Hydrogen and chlorine, yes, they combined at room temperature. Sunlight is enough. Hydrogen combined with chlorine, we are getting HCl gas. Hydrogen and carbon dioxide won't combine at room temperature. Fourth one, hydrogen and oxygen won't combine at room temperature. So which one is not applicable? Dalton law of partial pressure will not apply it to which of the following mixture of gases? Answer is hydrogen and chlorine, because Dalton law we can apply for non-reacting gases. Here hydrogen and chlorine are reacting at room temperature. The next one, the gases are at absolute temperature. The gases are at absolute temperature 300 Kelvin and 350 Kelvin respectively. The ratio of average kinetic energy of that molecule is, the ratio of average kinetic energy. രണ്ട് ഗ്യാസസിന്റെ അബ്സല്യൂട്ട് ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ആണ് തന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. What is the ratio of their kinetic energy? You studied in kinetic theory of gas, kinetic energy directly proportional to temperature. അപ്പോൾ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറിന്റെ റേഷ്യോ തന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ that is directly proportional to one, the ratio of their kinetic energy. അപ്പോൾ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറിന്റെ റേഷ്യോ T1 T2 എന്ന് എടുത്താൽ മതി. You will be getting the ratio of their kinetic energies. That is 300 by 350. That is 6:7. 30 by 35. Okay. Then next question. Helium atom is 2 times heavier than hydrogen molecule. Helium is 2 times heavier than hydrogen molecule. At 298 Kelvin, the average kinetic energy of helium atom is, at 298 Kelvin standard room temperature, the average kinetic energy of helium atom is, options are 2 times that to hydrogen, same as that to hydrogen, 4 times that to hydrogen, then half that to hydrogen. At 298 Kelvin, the average kinetic energy. How we can calculate the average kinetic energy is equal to 3/2 RT എന്നാണ്. 3/2 RT. അപ്പോൾ R കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരേ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറിലാണെങ്കിൽ സെയിം തന്നെ ആയിരിക്കും. ആവറേജ് കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു 3/2 RT. R കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരേ ടെമ്പറേച്ചറിലാണെങ്കിൽ ആവറേജ് കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി എല്ലാ ഗ്യാസ് മോളിക്യൂളിനും സെയിം ആയിരിക്കും, ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ഓഫ് മോളിക്കുലാർ മാസ്, only based on temperature. So same as that to hydrogen molecule is the answer. Next question. The compressibility factor for, next question, the compressibility factor. The compressibility factor for a given gas at 0.927 atm at 273 Kelvin and 100 atm. The compressibility factor for a given gas is 0.927 at 273 Kelvin and 100 atm. Calculate the amount of gas required to fill a gas cylinder of 100 liter. Fill a gas cylinder of 100 liter capacity under given conditions. Molecular mass of the gas is given, it is 30. The question is clear now. Calculate the amount of gas required. So you can ideal gas equation PV is equal to, what is the exact form of ideal gas equation? PV is equal to Zn RT. What is Z? Compressibility factor. For an ideal gas, what is the value of Z? Z is equal to 1. So PV is equal to Zn RT. Then N you know, given mass by molecular mass. So in the question, P is given 100, volume also given 100, Z 0.927 it is given. Then weight of gas you have to find out by molecular mass. N is W by M. Given mass by molecular mass you have to substitute. PV is equal to Z into given mass by molecular mass into RT. All are known. So we can find out one W. Calculate the value of W. So the correct option you are getting is 14.439 kilogram. 14. Next question. The density of oxygen gas at 25 degrees Celsius is 1.458 milligram per liter. 1.458 milligram per liter at 1 atm pressure. At what temperature will oxygen have the density twice the volume? At what pressure will oxygen have the density twice the value? Twice the value, not volume, twice the value. So in the question they given density, correct now? So density rho is equal to, what is the formula we studied? Rho, density rho is equal to Pm by RT. Okay, then here the density of oxygen gas at 25 degrees Celsius is given 1.58 milligram per liter, milligram per liter. Then at 1 atm pressure, at what pressure will oxygen have the density twice the value? So you take the ratio of that density. So the density is directly proportional to what will be there, pressure will be there, because density rho is equal to Pm by RT on density rho is equal to Pm by RT. So R is given, temperature also given. Okay, so from the equation we are getting rho is proportional to 1 P. Density is directly proportional to pressure of the gas, because M of the gas is a constant. Room temperature we are conducting are also constant. So rho is proportional to P. So when you are taking the ratio, rho 1 by or rho 2 is equal to P1 by P2. So 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by P2. 1 by 2 is equal to 1 by P2. So what is the answer you are getting? The options given are 1 atm, 2 atm, 4 atm, none of these. So answer you are getting is 2 atm. Clear now? Density relation only they asked in the question. The density of oxygen gas at 25 degrees Celsius is, density is given at 1 atm pressure. At what pressure will oxygen have the density twice the volume on? At what pressure? Only pressure they are asking. Temperature remains the same. Molar mass will not change because same gas we are taking. At what pressure the density will be twice? So rho 1 by rho 2 is equal to P1 by P2. Then next question. The temperature at which hydrogen has the same RMS speed at 1 atm as that of oxygen at STP. The temperature at which hydrogen has the same RMS speed, RMS velocity at 1 atm as that of oxygen at STP. RMS velocity, what is the relation? RMS velocity root of 3 RT by m. So you have to equate root of 3 RT by m is equal to root of 3 RT by oxygen. Root of 3 RT by m means hydrogen the oxygen the RMS velocity you have to equate root of 3 RT by hydrogen is 2 molecular mass is equal to root of 3 RT by 32. Then hydrogen temperature you have to find out. So here 3R, here 3R. Oxygen temperature is 1. STP temperature means 273 Kelvin. 273. So root നമുക്ക് cancel ചെയ്ത് കളയാം. 3R and 3R cut ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ T by 2 is equal to 273 by 32. From that you can find out T. Answer given. Options are given in Kelvin ആണ്. 37 Kelvin, 27 Kelvin, 17 Kelvin, 10 Kelvin. So when you are calculating this Kelvin scale you are getting is 17 Kelvin. .12 like that you will be getting answer. So 17 is the correct option. A certain gas at a temperature of 350 Kelvin, the temperature is raised to 700 Kelvin. The average translational kinetic energy of the gas will be. How the kinetic energy related to temperature? Kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. From kinetic energy at a given temperature is kinetic energy at another temperature. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to temperature. So take the ratio. Kinetic energy at a particular temperature. So Ke1 by Ke2 is equal to T1 by T2. T1 and T2 are given. Then relation you are getting Ke1 by Ke2 is equal to what is the temperature range given? 700 by 350. Ke2 by K1 നമുക്ക് വാല്യൂ കിട്ടത്തക്ക രീതിയിൽ എടുത്തന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പം ഈസി Ke2 by Ke1 2 എന്ന് വന്നു. അപ്പോൾ Ke2 is equal to 2 into Ke1. That is the relation. Kinetic energy at 700 is equal to kinetic energy at 350 into 2. From the temperature directly proportional. Temperature double ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ kinetic energy double ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ വരുന്നത്. ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് എഴുതാവുന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. No need of any calculation. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ വായിച്ചു തന്നെ എഴുതാം. കൈനറ്റിക് ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ ഡബിൾ ആണെങ്കിൽ കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി ഡബിൾ ആയിട്ട് തന്നെ വരും. Then the van der Waals equation explain the behavior of van der Waals equation explain the behavior of real gas, vapor density, non-real gases, real gases. Van der Waals equation explain the property of real gases. What is the compressibility factor of ideal gas? It is 1. The value of van der Waals constant is maximum 4. The value of van der Waals constant is maximum 4. Helium, nitrogen, methane, NH3. The value of van der Waals constant is maximum for which among the following gases? Options are helium is there, nitrogen is there, methane is there, ammonia is there. Which one? Ammonia, because ammonia can be easily liquefied. Then below you are getting a table. From the table you are getting a value. Oxygen 1.31, hydrogen 1.39, ammonia 4.17, methane 2.253. Gases with a value A, van der Waals constant A make the value A represent the interaction between the particles. Then from this you have to identify which one can be readily liquefied. Easy ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ലിക്വിഫൈ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത് എ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഇൻട്രാക്ഷൻ കൂടുമ്പോൾ ലിക്വിഫാക്ഷൻ ടെൻഡൻസി വിൽ ബി മോർ. അപ്പോൾ വിച്ച് ഗ്യാസ്? അമോണിയ. A value increases, liquefaction tendency also increases. How we can identify? Because A represent interaction between the particles. Then next question. Equal moles of hydrogen and oxygen. Equal moles of hydrogen and oxygen gases are placed in a container with a pinhole through which both can escape. ഹൈഡ്രജനും ഓക്സിജനും കൂടെ ഒരു ബോക്സിനകത്താണ്, അതിനകത്തൊരു ഹോൾ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. both the gas can escape. What fraction of the oxygen escape in the time required for 1/2 of the hydrogen to escape? What fraction of the oxygen to be escaped to the time required for 1/2 of the hydrogen to escape? Actually that based on the rate of diffusion. Rate of diffusion, when you are taking the rate of diffusion of oxygen and diffusion tendency, hydrogen is equal to root of molecular mass of oxygen 32 by root of 32 by say rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to their molecular mass, 2 by 32, 1 by 16, that is equal to 1 by 4. The diffusion tendency is 4 times that of oxygen in the case of hydrogen. So the options given are 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 3 by 8 and 1 by 2. Rate of diffusion of oxygen to rate of diffusion of hydrogen. Oxygen will be 2 times according to the relation. So rate of diffusion oxygen 2 times means 1 by 2x, 1 by 2x by 1 by x. So 1 by 4. So the answer will be getting 1 by 8 times. So when you are recruiting the rate of diffusion, first you are recruiting rate of oxygen by rate of hydrogen. What is the rate you are getting? 1 by 4. The fraction of hydrogen molecule escaped in T times is 1 by 2. Fraction of hydrogen escaped is 1 by 2, and the fraction of oxygen escaped is, we are taking on variable x, we don't know how many is escaped. So when you are taking the rate of diffusion 1 by 2x by x by t or x by t, so you are getting the 1 by 4. So the options 1 by x is equal to what fraction will be releasing? 1 by 8 times. When you are recruiting the molecular masses also, actually hydrogen molecular mass is 2 only, oxygen molecular mass is 32 only. How many multiples it will be there? 8 multiples. So that way also we can directly, without any calculation, directly also we can find out it is 1 by 8. Then next question. Maximum deviation from ideal gas is expected from. Maximum deviation from ideal gas. The options are hydrogen, nitrogen, methane, ammonia. Maximum deviation from ideal gas. Deviation of real gas from ideal behavior. That also based on what? Critical temperature. So from this, which one has a more critical temperature? Ammonia. 4 point or A value also. From this table column also we can identify this question. It is answer is ammonia. A gas such as carbon monoxide would be most likely to obey the ideal gas at, what is the condition for obey ideal gas at? Low pressure and high temperature. Low pressure and high temperature. Okay, so like that, see, when you are studying this topic, it is important all the time you will be getting a numerical based on any gas laws. All the gas laws formula you have to study well, and you have to then rate of diffusion, equating the rate of diffusion or equating the molecular masses based on their diffusion tendency. The rate of diffusion also important in all gas laws. Then ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT, that we can modify PV is equal to ZnRT. If compressibility factor is mentioned there, you use PV is equal to ZnRT. Then PV is equal to 1 by 3 M1 U square, which equation? Kinetic gas equation, that also you have to learn it. Then average kinetic energy of gas molecule. Average kinetic energy, how we can calculate? Average kinetic energy equal to 3 by 2 RT. 3 by 2 RT. Then critical temperature, critical pressure and critical volume, and then coefficients of viscosity eta. This numerical you have to practice. Number of questions we can practice because based on Charles law, Boyle's law, then Avogadro law, then ideal gas equation. But it's a mathematical expression of ideal gas equation. In a question, pressure, volume, temperature all are given. So P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. This is the expression for ideal gas equation. Like that, some logical questions also they will be asking. So read carefully the questions and you have to practice. Okay. Now I am going to the next topic, that is chemical equilibrium. Chemical equilibrium. Here also numerical part will be there. Directly you will be getting the questions, so some equations only you have to learn it. Okay, the next chapter we are going to discuss is chemical equilibrium. Chemical equilibrium also fully numerical session, so you have to practice the numericals, more numericals you have to practice. In the chapter, first of all, you study regarding equilibrium, that is a reversible reaction, equilibrium constant, and then factors affecting equilibrium. Equilibrium and equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant we can write it concentration of the product by concentration of the reactant, and any number of moles is there, that you have to write it as their power of concentration. Stoichiometric coefficient gives rise to power of concentration, and ratio known as equilibrium constant, that we can express in terms of concentration and also in terms of partial pressure, Kp and Kc, both the way you expressed. And you got the relation Kp is equal to, first relation you studied in the chapter is chemical equilibrium. Kp is equal to Kc RT raised to del n, delta n, number of moles of gaseous product minus number of moles of gaseous reactant. If you know Kp, you can find out Kc, or if you know Kc, we can find out Kp by using this equation or based on the reaction. And then factors affecting equilibrium, temperature, pressure and concentration. And if we change temperature, pressure, concentration of a system at equilibrium, the system will readjust it to nullify the effect. That principle is known as Le Chaltier principle. Principle, the conditions of pressure increasing, but the reaction will favor decrease in volume. When we increase the pressure, the reaction will favor decrease in volume. When we increase the temperature, the reaction will favor endothermic reaction. And when we decrease the temperature, exothermic reaction. And concentration, when we remove product, the reaction will favor forward reaction. When we add more reactant, the reaction will favor forward reaction. Okay, like that, factors affecting equilibrium are concentration, temperature, pressure. Based on that, you study Le Chaltier principle. Then after that, you studied acid-base concept, Arrhenius concept, Bronsted-Lowry concept, Lewis concept. Arrhenius concept, H plus ion and OH minus ion. Bronsted-Lowry concept, H plus donate in the acid, H plus accept in the base. Lewis concept based on lone pair of electron. And then we studied conjugate acid base pairs. The pairs that differ by H plus ion. Various species in H plus ion we will be getting its conjugate acid, and H plus ion remove we will be getting conjugate base. Ammonia, what is the conjugate acid? Ammonium ion, NH4 plus. What is the conjugate base? NH2 minus. Like that, in all species you can write it conjugate acid and base. And then equilibrium constant we can also calculate in terms of two different temperature. Log K2 by K1 is equal to del H by 2.303 R into T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. You studied Arrhenius equation there. activation energy. Here energy change, temperature change. So EA instead of EA here delta H. Then you studied ionic product of water. H plus ion into OH minus ion concentration is always 10 to the power minus 14. Then ionization constant of a base and its conjugate acid Ka into Kb is always equal to Kw. Just like ionic product of water also like that, H plus ion concentration to OH minus ion concentration is equal to Kw. Then pH, negative log of H plus ion concentration. Then hydrolysis of salt. Then pH, then you studied degree of dissociation, alpha, degree of dissociation. pH unit you can note it, degree of dissociation, alpha is equal to root of Ka by C for weak acid and root of Kb by C for weak base. Alpha, degree of dissociation, Ka by C, Kb by C. This for weak acid, Kb by C for weak base. Then hydrolysis of salt. Salt when dissolved in water we will be getting an acid and a base. Then equilibrium constant, the concentration of product by concentration of reactant. K into water, that is Kw. Acid into base by salt. Then if the hydrolysis of weak acid and a strong base, acid is weak and base is strong, then KH is equal to hydrolysis constant is Kw by Ka. Ka means for weak acid in the E, W water in the ionization constant. So degree of hydrolysis, H is equal to root of Kh by C. Kh അവിടെ സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു, Kw by Ka. So Kw by Ka into C. ഇതേപോലെ നമുക്ക് ബേസിന് എഴുതാം, Kw by Kb into C. ഹൈഡ്രോളിസിസ് ഓഫ് വീക്ക് ബേസ് ആൻഡ് സ്ട്രോങ് ആസിഡ്. കണ്ടിന്യൂഷൻ ആയിട്ട് ഈ ഫോർമുല എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചതാണ് ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ, കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് അറിയണം ഫോർമുലാസുകളെല്ലാം. ദെൻ യു സ്റ്റഡീഡ് hydronium ion concentration and pH. pH is equal to, for in the case of one weak acid and a strong base, pH is equal to half into pKw plus pKa plus log C. Hydronium ion concentration pH. So log term നമ്മൾ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ -1/2 into log Kw. ഇത് pK ആണ്, നെഗറ്റീവ് ലോഗ് ഓഫ് H plus ion pK. അപ്പോൾ log Ka minus log C. log C ക്ക് അവിടെ pK വാല്യൂ ഇല്ലാതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇവിടെ മൈനസ് വന്നത്. മൈനസ് നമ്മളിവിടെ പുറത്തെടുത്തു. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് മൈനസ് ഇൻറ്റു മൈനസ് ഇവിടെ പ്ലസ് വരും. ഈ രണ്ട് ഇക്വേഷൻ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ, രണ്ട് സെയിം തന്നെ. ലോഗ് ഫോമാറ്റിൽ അത് പി, നെഗറ്റീവ് ലോഗ് പൊട്ടൻസ് ഓഫ് ഹൈഡ്രജൻ pKw. അപ്പോൾ ഇതേ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഹെഡിങ് കൊടുക്കേണ്ടത് ഹൈഡ്രോളിസിസ് ഓഫ് വീക്ക് ബേസ് ആൻഡ് സ്ട്രോങ് ആസിഡ്. അപ്പോൾ KH is equal to Kw by Kb ഇവിടെ കൊടുക്കുന്നു, Kw by Kb into C. In that case also we can calculate pH. So pH is equal to half into pKw plus, what is the equation there will be coming, minus pKb minus log C. Minus ഫോമാറ്റിൽ നമുക്ക് എഴുതാം ഇക്വേഷൻ, ഫുൾ മൈനസ് പുറത്ത് കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ. Then next one, see, are you not to know all the equation here? Hydrolysis of weak acid and strong base, this formula, this one and this one, and then you have to change it, hydrolysis of weak base and strong acid. So what will is a KH? So the question you must clear what concept they are giving. This is weak acid and strong base. Next one for weak base and strong acid. So KH is equal to Kw by Kb. So H is equal to root of KH by C. So Kw by Kb into C root of. Then you write a pH. So are you not to know the next case also hydrolysis of strong acid, sorry, weak base and strong acid, that is the next option. strong acid and a weak base. What is the formula? H will be coming. H is equal to root of hydrolysis constant Kw by Kb into C. Or how to calculate pH? pH is equal to, in that case, half into pKw minus pKb minus log C. Then we are taking both the cases are weak acid and weak base. Question ചോദിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഏത് ഓപ്ഷൻ ആണെന്ന് നോക്കി വേണം ഫോർമുല സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. വീക്ക് ആസിഡ് ആൻഡ് വീക്ക് ബേസ്. So KH is equal to Kw by Ka into Kb. Both are weak. So A and B both will be coming. And in the concentration K value we have to consider. Then weak acid and weak base. What is the pH? So we can calculate pH. pH is equal to half into pKw plus pKe minus pKb. This is the pH for weak acid and weak base. This formula you must thorough, because based on the formula only you will be getting the questions. Numericals they are asking for weak acid, weak bases. So which concept that you must thorough. In pH in the calculation, H plus ion in the concentration on pH. So H plus ion direct at H plus ion തരണമെന്നില്ല. അവർ OH മൈനസ് ion തന്നിരിക്കും. അതിനകത്തുനിന്ന് pH കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം. ഇപ്പോൾ OH മൈനസ് ion തന്നിരുന്നാൽ H plus into OH minus is equal to 10 to the power minus 40. Then we can find out pH. അതിൽ നിന്ന് ആദ്യം H plus ന്റെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. OH മൈനസ് ആണ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ തന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ H plus into OH minus is equal to 1 10 to the power minus 40. From that you will be getting H plus. Then pH you can find out. Then after that you study in the chapter buffer solution, buffer action. Buffer solution means നമ്മളൊരു സൊല്യൂഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, അതിനകത്ത് നമ്മൾ കുറച്ച് എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് ആസിഡോ ബേസോ ആഡ് ചെയ്താൽ അതിന്റെ pH will not change. ഓക്കെ, സാധാരണ ആസിഡോ ബേസോ ആഡ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സൊല്യൂഷനകത്ത് എന്ത് ചേഞ്ച് സംഭവിക്കും? അതിന്റെ pH മാറും. ബഫർ സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ സ്മോൾ ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റി എക്സസ് എന്നുള്ള മീനിങ് അല്ല, സ്മോൾ എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് ആസിഡ് ബേസ് ആഡ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ the pH will not change. Such solutions are called buffer solution and their actions are called buffer action. There are two types, acid buffer and basic buffer. Then acid buffer എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു വീക്ക് ആസിഡും അതിന്റെ സ്ട്രോങ് സാൾട്ടും ചേർന്നാണ് ആസിഡ് ബഫർ. എക്സാമ്പിൾ അസറ്റിക് ആസിഡ്, സോഡിയം അസറ്റേറ്റ് അസിഡിക് ബഫർ ആണ്. ബേസിക് ബഫർ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഒരു വീക്ക് ബേസും അതിന്റെ സ്ട്രോങ് സാൾട്ടും. എക്സാമ്പിൾ അമോണിയം ഹൈഡ്രോക്സൈഡ് ഈസ് എ വീക്ക് ബേസ്. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ സ്ട്രോങ് സാൾട്ട് അമോണിയം ക്ലോറൈഡ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ആൻ എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഓഫ് basic buffer. In a buffer solution anaglam we can calculate the pH. How to calculate the pH of a buffer solution? What is the formula for the calculation of pH of a buffer solution? pH is equal to pKa plus log concentration of salt by concentration of acid. Buffer solution pH is equal to pKa plus log concentration of salt by concentration of acid. It is for acidic buffer. Basic buffer amber, here you have to choose base. pH is equal to pKa plus log salt by acid. Acidic buffer naan. Basic buffer amber with a base in the concentration and edukandad. Weak acid and weak base. Acidic buffer and basic buffer. Clear now? This formula also you must know for acidic buffer and basic buffer. Then after that you study in the chapter solubility product. Solubility product is applicable for sparingly soluble salt. Sparingly soluble saltകൾക്കാണ് solubility product ഉള്ളത്. KSP. KSP is equal to concentration of cation into concentration of anion. For example, lead chloride PbCl2 reversibly giving Pb plus 2Cl minus. What is KSP? KSP is equal to concentration of Pb2 plus into concentration of Cl minus the whole square. Pb2 plus in the solubility S സോളിഡ് എന്നുള്ളതല്ല, Pb2 പ്ലസ് സോളിബിലിറ്റി എസ്, Cl മൈനസ് സോളിബിലിറ്റി എസ് എന്നെടുത്തു. രണ്ടും സൊല്യൂഷനിൽ ഡിസോൾവ്, പാർഷ്യലി മാത്രമേ ഡിസോൾവ് ചെയ്യും, അപ്പോഴേ സോളിബിലിറ്റി പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെ KSP കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം? Pb2 സോളിബിലിറ്റി എസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഒരു Pb2 പ്ലസ് അയോൺ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എത്ര Cl മൈനസ് അയോൺ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യും? ഡബിൾ Cl മൈനസ് അയോൺ പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പം Pb2 എസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ Cl മൈനസ് എത്ര ആയിട്ട് എടുക്കേണ്ട? 2s. അപ്പം എസിന് പവർ ഇല്ല, 2s 2Cl മൈനസ്, ഇപ്പൊ 2s ഇത് ഹോൾ സ്ക്വയർ വരും. 2 മോൾസ് ഉണ്ട്, ഇത് 1 മോൾ ആണ്. അപ്പൊ ഇതിന്റെ KSP വാല്യൂ കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് 4s³ ആണ് സോളിബിലിറ്റി പ്രോഡക്റ്റ്. കാരണം ഒരു Pb2 പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എത്ര Cl മൈനസ്? 2 Cl മൈനസ്. ഒരു Pb2 അയോണിന്റെ സ്ഥാനത്ത് ഡബിൾ Cl മൈനസ് അയോൺ ആണ് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പം Pb2 എസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ Cl മൈനസിന്റെ 2s ആണ് എടുക്കേണ്ടത്. ദിസ് വേ സോളിബിലിറ്റി പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് വി ക്യാൻ ഫൈൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ഫോർ സോൾട്ട്. Clear no? Then finally you noted solubility product and precipitation. At what condition a salt will precipitate? Based on their solubility product we can predict the precipitation. The ionic product is greater than solubility product. KSP value ഒരു saltന്റെ KSP value and ionic product നേക്കാൾ കുറവാണെങ്കിൽ that salt will not precipitate. Ionic product is greater than that of solubility product, the salt will not precipitate. But the solubility product is greater than that of ionic product, the salt will precipitate. That is the condition for precipitation. Okay, so next we can practice some questions based on the topic. The first question is for the reaction. This reaction CO plus SiO2 reversibly giving CO2. And Kp by Kc. What is the relation of Kp by Kc in this question? So they given RT raised to 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2, RT raised to minus 1. So Kp is equal to, you know, Kp is equal to Kc into RT raised to. See, these all are gaseous system on. Okay, so number of moles of gaseous product minus number of moles of gaseous reactant. 1 plus 1 by 2. So 3 by 2. So the answer is minus delta raised to minus 1 by 2. So Kp by Kc is equal to RT raised to minus 1 by 2. The next question. Question. A certain buffer solution contains equal concentration of X minus as a derivative on X minus and HX is acid. Equal concentration of X minus and HX. The Kb for X minus is the Kb for X minus is 10 to the power minus 10. 10 to the power minus 10. Then the pH of the buffer solution. What will be the pH of the buffer solution? How to calculate the pH of the buffer solution? pH is equal to minus log Ke plus log concentration of salt by acid. pH is equal to minus log Ke. Then Ka is not given. Ka into Kb. What is Ka into Kb? 10 to the power minus 14. Ka into Kb is equal to 10 to the power minus 14. So from that you will be getting the value of Ka. Okay. Then Kb is given, then Ka minus 4 you are getting, so you have to substitute. pH is equal to minus log Ka minus log 10 to the power minus 4 plus log concentration of salt by concentration of acid. Salt acid both are same, so the log 1. So the answer is minus log 10 to the power minus 4 minus log 10 to the power minus 4. So my log 10 is 1, so minus 4 into minus 1, that is 4. Question is clear now? Equal concentration of x minus hx ആണ്. അപ്പം സാൾട്ടിന്റെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷനും ആസിഡിന്റെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷനും സെയിം ആയിട്ടാണ് വരുന്നത്, അതുകൊണ്ട് ലോഗ് 1. രണ്ടാമത്തെ ടേം ലോഗ് 1 ആയി. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഈക്വൽ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ എന്ന് മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. Then next question, 0.1 mole of CH3NH2, 0.1 mole of CH3NH2 methyl amine, 0.1 mole of methyl amine. Kb is given. Kb is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4. 5 into 10 to the power minus 4 is mixed with 0.08 mole of HCl. 0.08 mole of HCl and diluted to 1 liter, and then diluted to 1 liter. What will be the H plus ion concentration in the solution? What will be the H plus ion concentration? H plus ion concentration means 1 pH. So the equation is CH3 primary amine plus HCl. It's a reversible reaction. Acid and base, we will be getting salt and water, or salt CH3 NH3 plus Cl minus ammonium salt item next steam. What is the concentration they given? Initial concentration 0.1 now 0.08. Correct now? Yes. 0.1 and 0.08, then 0. Then after mixing, what is the change in concentration they given? 0.02. Full acid will be 0.02, 0.08 ആണ്. So 0.02 remains 0. Then ammonia salt formed is 0.08 after mixing. So they are asking pH buffer solution. So we can calculate for base concentration initial and final is given. Acid final concentration 0. So based on the base final concentration we can calculate one pOH. How we can calculate the pOH? Yes, pOH is equal to pKb plus log concentration of salt by base. Salt by concentration of base. So pKb is given in the question. What is the value pKb? 3.30 plus log concentration of salt. What is the salt? 0.08 by what is the remaining concentration of the base? 0.02. 0.08 by 0.02. So log 4. Log 4 value is 0.6. So 3.30 plus 0.6, so 3.9. So around 4 value you are getting. Correct value you are getting is 3.9 pOH. Then what is pH? 14 minus pOH. Are you getting the idea now? In the question they given a name amine. Amine is a base plus HCl to form a salt. CH3 NH3Cl. In amine chapter also this type of reaction you studied. Aniline plus HCl. Textbook reaction. Aniline plus HCl. Aniline NH3Cl. NH3 plus Cl minus. Concentration തന്നിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഈ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷനിൽ നമുക്കിപ്പോൾ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പി എച്ച് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല, കാരണം ആസിഡിന്റെ ആസിഡ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്തു, ഇവിടെ 0 ആയിപ്പോയി, ചേഞ്ച് ഇൻ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ ഇല്ല. ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം അറ്റൈൻ ചെയ്തതിനു ശേഷം ആഫ്റ്റർ മിക്സിംഗിൽ ഇനിഷ്യലും ഫൈനലും കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ ഉള്ളത് ആർക്കാ? ബേസിന്. സോ നമ്മൾ POH കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. PKB പ്ലസ് ലോഗ് സാൾട്ട് ബൈ ആസിഡ്. PH ആയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടുന്ന് PH കണ്ടുപിടിക്കായിരുന്നു. PH is equal to PKA. ഇപ്പൊ KA വാല്യൂ തരണം, പ്ലസ് ലോഗ് സാൾട്ട് ബൈ ആസിഡ് എന്ന് കൊടുക്കും. ഇപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ ബേസ് വെച്ച് നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു POH. PKB തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്, പ്ലസ് ലോഗ് സാൾട്ടിന്റെ 0.08 കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ, ബേസിന്റെ റിമൈനിങ് 0.02. സോ ഇത് ലോഗ് 4 0.6. സോ 3.9 you are getting the answer. So we know pH and POH. pH ഉം POH ഉം ടോട്ടൽ എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ എത്ര വരുന്ന? So from this you will be getting pH. Clear now? What is the answer you are getting? 14 minus 3.9. So 10.09 pH. What is they are asking? H plus ion concentration. pH is equal to negative log of H plus ion concentration. From that we can find out the H plus ion concentration. So final answer 8 into 10 to the power minus 11 molar. pH ൽ നിന്ന് H plus കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക. 8 into 10 raised to minus 11 molar will be the answer. Then next question. The solubility of an aqueous solution of magnesium hydroxide. The solubility of an aqueous solution of magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide is MgOH twice. Is x moles per liter. X moles per liter. Then KSP of magnesium hydroxide is, what is the KSP value of magnesium hydroxide? They given 4 by S cube, 4S cube, 8S cube, S cube by 8. Magnesium hydroxide directly you can write it Mg2 plus 2OH minus. So 4S cube will be the answer. Solubility product. ഒരു magnesium ion 2 OH minus ion produce ചെയ്യും. magnesium ion x എന്ന് കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇവന് 2x the whole square എന്ന് കൊടുക്കും. So 4S cube. lead chloride എഴുതിയ അതേ ഓപ്ഷൻ. The next question, KSP of MX4, KSP of MX4 and solubility of MX4, KSP and solubility of MX4 in moles per liter is related by, what is the relation between the solubility of MX4 and KSP of MX4? So MX4, first you write MX4 is ionized as M plus 4x minus 1. So M plus ന്റെ solubility നമ്മൾ x ആയിട്ട് എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ what is the x minus 4s? So you can correlate. So s into 4s the whole raised to 4. 4 raised to 4 relation എഴുതുമ്പോൾ s into solubility product KSP is equal to S into 4S the whole raised to 4. So that is the way you will be getting the relation. Are you getting the answer now? Okay, next question. So that question answer you are getting now, all of you. Last question we did 256. 4 raised to 4, 256. S raised to 5. Correct? Next question. The pK of weak acid HA. The pK of weak acid HA. 4.5. pK of weak acid HA is 4.5. The pH of an aqueous buffered solution. The pOH, sorry, not pH, the pOH of an aqueous buffered solution. pOH of an aqueous buffered solution of HA in which 50% of the acid is ionized. In which 50% of the acid is ionized. Question is clear now. The pK of weak acid is given 4.5. The pOH of aqueous solution of HA in which 50% of the acid is ionized. The options given are 4.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 9.5, 4, 7. Okay. Here also they mention buffer solution. What is the buffer solution? pH is equal to pKa plus log pH is equal to pKa plus log concentration of salt by acid. Acid is mentioned Hx. pKa plus log salt by acid. Then pKa is given. What is pKa? 4.5 into log salt by acid. What is the ionization? 50% is ionized. So 50% ionization means salt in the concentration, remaining salt will be about 50. What is the acid concentration? 50. 50% only ionized, remaining is unionized. So 50-50 on both. So 1 you are getting. So pH is equal to, what is the value of pH you are getting? pH is equal to 4.5 because these two are same 50%. So here log 1 is 0. So pH is equal to 4.5. So then what they are asking? pOH. How we can find out pOH? pH plus pOH is equal to 14. So pOH is equal to 14 minus 4.5. So the answer is 9.5. Then next question. The solubility product of a salt having general formula mx2. Solubility product of a salt having general formula mx2 in water is 4 into 10 to the power minus 12. 4 into 10 to the power minus 12. The concentration of M2 plus ion in the aqueous solution of the salt is the concentration of M2 plus ion. Mx2 anappa ion is M2 plus ion. Concentration of M2 plus ion in the aqueous solution of the salt is Mx2 reversibly giving M2 plus 2x minus. M2 plus concentration, try it. Then what is the KSP value? KSP is equal to 4s cube. Correct now? S 2s the whole square. So 4s cube. KSP. From that you calculate value of S solubility. 4s cube. What is S? S 10 to the power minus 4. So M2 plus N concentration is mx2 we are taking this solubility S is 2s. S ആണ് value ആണ് നമുക്ക് calculate ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. അപ്പോൾ KSP is equal to 4s cube. 4 into 10 to the power minus 12. So S is equal to 10 to the power minus 4. So M2 plus 7 concentration is 10 to the power minus 4. Then next question. HX is a weak acid. HX is a weak acid. Ka is equal to 10 to the power minus 5. Ka 10 to the power minus 5. It forms a salt NaX. It forms a salt NaX. NaX bracket concentration തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് 0.01 molar. It forms a salt NaX on reacting with the caustic soda. The degree of hydrolysis of NaX is, the degree of hydrolysis of NaX is, so which one is hydrolyzing here? NaX on hydrolysis. Degree of hydrolysis they are asking. NaOH plus HX, H plus ion, OH minus ion. Okay. So hydrolysis constant Kh is equal to Kw by hydrolysis. Kw by Ka. What is Kw? 10 to the power minus 14, ionic product of water. 10 to the power minus 14 by 10 to the power minus 5. Ka that is given in the question 10 to the power minus 5. So you are getting Kh. But the hydrolysis constant, the degree of hydrolysis Kh is equal to C alpha square. Concentration into degree of ionization C alpha square. Alpha is what? Degree of hydrolysis. So Kh is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 is equal to 0.1 into alpha square. Concentration 0.01 into alpha square. Then from that you have to find out alpha. The concentration 0.01 ആണ് 0.1 not 0.1 0.1 10 to the power minus 1. So 10 to the power minus 8. So alpha is equal to 10 to the power minus 4. What is the degree of ionization? 10 to the minus 4 into 100. 10 to the power minus 4 here you are getting into 100 is equal to 10 to the power minus 2, that is 0.01 percentage. So from the option you can choose it. 0.01 percentage is the correct option. Okay, the next question. The pH of 0.1 molar solution of the acid HQ, general format is given. HQ is 3. pH is 3. The value of ionization constant Ka of the acid is the value of ionization constant Ka for the acid. So HQ will be ionizing as H plus Q minus. You can write the ionization equation. Then starting from 0.1 molar 0 0. So pH is equal to 3. So what is the H plus ion concentration? 10 to the power minus 3. pH is equal to 3. So H plus ion concentration is equal to 10 to the power minus 3. So what is the equilibrium constant for the reaction? Ka is equal to H plus into Q minus by concentration of HQ. So H plus ion concentration is 1, 10 to the power minus 3. So Q minus also same concentration, either 10 raised to minus 3 angle, this also 10 raised to minus 3, because according to the equation 1 mole of H plus 1 mole of Q minus 1. Above 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 by HQ. Concentration of HQ is 1.1 molar. So 10 raised to minus 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 by 0.5. So what is the answer? 10 to the power minus 5.
At 25 degrees Celsius, the solubility product of magnesium hydroxide is 1 into 10 to the power minus 11. 1 into 10 to the power minus 11. At which pH will Mg2 plus ion start precipitating in the form of magnesium hydroxide from a solution of 0.001 molar Mg2 plus ions. So they are asking the condition for what? Precipitation. We studied the condition for precipitation. What condition they will precipitate? The ionic product is less than that of its solubility product. So here we have to find out the solubility product, KSP. KSP is equal to concentration of Mg2 plus ion into concentration of OH minus ion, the whole square. Correct? From that you will be getting the concentration of OH minus ion is equal to a root of KSP by Mg2 plus ion. That is the concentration of OH minus ion. So you are getting, that is KSP 1 into 10 raised to power minus 11. That is concentration of Mg2 plus ion 0.001. So negative log 10 raised to minus 11 by 10 to the power minus 3, 10 to the power minus 8, and the root is about OH minus is equal to 10 to the power minus 4. So what is pOH? OH minus concentration 10 to the minus 4, so pOH is equal to 4. pOH is equal to 4, so pH is equal to 10 because total product is 14. So what is the pH of the solution? pOH 4, pH is equal to 10. Correct? So they will be asking what? At what pH? So from the option you can choose which is the pH? 10. pOH 4 will be. Total 14 and pOH and pH. So pH is 10. Well, next question. An acid HA, an acid HA ionizes HA giving H plus plus A minus. An acid HA ionizes. The pH of 1 molar solution is, the pH of 1 molar solution of this acid is 5. Its dissociation constant would be, its dissociation constant would be, okay, HA, H plus A minus. dissociation constant, decay equilibrium constant you find out. So what is the concentration of HEA? First we are taking 1 mole, 1 mole, 1 mole. How many mole will be dissociated? 10 to the power. The pH of 1 molar solution is 5. pH 5 means what is the concentration of H plus ion? 10 to the power minus 5. So 1 minus 10 to the power minus 5 will be reduced. And what will be H plus will be forming? 10 to the power minus 5, 10 to the power minus 5. Here now pH is given for a solution the pH 5 on pH 5 on and H plus ion concentration 10 to the power minus 5. കാരണം ഇക്വേഷൻ അനുസരിച്ച് എവൻ ഒരു മോൾ ഫോം ചെയ്താൽ എവന് ഒരു മോൾ തന്നെയാണ് എവന് ഒരു മോൾ തന്നെയാണ് റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആദ്യം 1 മോൾ എടുത്തു. ഇപ്പൊ 10⁻⁵ ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഇതിന്റെ ബാക്കി കോൺസെൻട്രേഷൻ 1 minus 10 to the power minus 5. 10 to the power minus 5 10 to the power minus 5. Then what is Ka? H plus into A minus by Hb. 10 to the power minus 5 into 10 to the power minus product by 1 minus 10 to the power minus 5. One minus 10 to the power minus 5 means approximately 1. So 10 to the power minus 10. So answer is 10 to the power minus 10 molar. Then next question. If pKb for a fluoride ion at 25 degrees Celsius is 10.83, the ionization constant of hydrofluoric acid in water at this temperature is, the ionization constant of hydrofluoric acid HF acid in water at this temperature is, pKb value of HF, hydrofluoric acid HF plus water giving reversibly giving H3O plus F minus. This is the ionization of HF in water. So what is the Kb value? Concentration of product by concentration of reactant. Then same way they given pKb for the ionization constant of hydrofluoric acid in water. Hydrofluoric acid in water. So hydrofluoric acid F minus plus H2O. Water medium it will be ionizing. F minus plus H2O. HFO plus OH minus. Fluoride acid in water which will ionize as HFO plus OH minus. Then this one we can write it for Kb, concentration of HF into concentration of OH minus by concentration of F minus into water concentration. We can take it as unity. Then you take it Ka into Kb. Here we will be getting Ka and Ka into Kb. But the answer Ka into Kb is always 10 to the power minus 14 because Kw. But pKb is given in the question. pKb is 10.83. So K is equal to Kw by Kb. pKb you can find out Kb. pKb value is given. So what is Kb? Negative log of Kb. So log value also you have to find out. Then only you will be getting the answer. Finally K is equal to Kw by KB. PKB, what is the value? 10.83. So KB is negative log of KB. Negative log of 10.83. So KB you are getting is minus 1.48 into 10 to the power minus 11 KB. Minus 1.48 into 10 to the power minus 11. 10.1. Negative. Then apply K is equal to KW by KB. KW 10 raised to minus 14 by 1.48 into 10 to the power minus 11. So the answer finally you are getting 6.75 into 10 to the power minus 4. The method is clear now. ആസിഡിന്റെ അയനൈസേഷൻ ആണ് ആദ്യം തന്നിരുന്നത്. നമുക്ക് K വാല്യൂ കിട്ടും. പിന്നെ ഫ്ലോറൈഡ് അയോൺ വാട്ടറിൽ അവൻ OH മൈനസ് ആയിട്ട് പ്രോബബിലി ആസിഡ് ആണ് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ അവൻ ബേസിക് നേച്ചർ ആണ് കാണിച്ചത്. Kb നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയതിനകത്തുനിന്ന് K into Kb എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് 10 raised to minus 14 ആണ്. അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ Kb വാല്യൂ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നു. Kb വാല്യൂ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചത് സബ്സ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ മൈനസ് 14 നിന്ന് K വാല്യൂ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ Kb നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ PKb ആണ് തന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. നെഗറ്റീവ് ലോഗ് Kb. PKB എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നെഗറ്റീവ് ലോഗ് KB. അതിനകത്താണ് നമുക്ക് KB കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ടത്. So we have to substitute and we will be getting the answer. Next question, the conjugate base of OH minus is the conjugate base of OH minus is. What is the answer? What is the conjugate base of OH minus? How we are getting conjugate base? Remove one H plus, so O2 minus. Answer is O2 minus. O2 minus. Next question. Species acting as both Bronsted acid and bases. Species acting as both Bronsted acid and bases. Options given are: first one is HSO4 minus, second one Na2CO3, third one NH3, fourth one NH4. Which species can act as both the Bronsted acid and base? Bronsted acid and base ആണെങ്കിൽ അതിനെ readily H plus നെ donate ചെയ്യാനും കഴിയണം, H plus നെ accept ചെയ്യാനും കഴിയണം. Which one will readily donate H plus ion and accept H plus ion? Only HSO4 minus bisulfate salt. അവൻ H plus നെ donate ചെയ്താൽ അവൻ SO4 2 minus sulfate salt ആയിട്ട് മാറും. H plus നെ accept ചെയ്താൽ sulfuric acid ആയിട്ട് മാറും. So it can act as both. Then next, four species are given. Options: HCO3 minus, HSO4 minus, then H3O plus, then HSO3F. HSO3 fluorobisulfate. HSO3F. Then you have to write these species in the order of their acidic strength. Order of their acidic strength. What is the order of their acidic strength? Actually, their pK value nothing is given, but actually their donation tendency, H plus ion donation tendency only, we can write it at their acidic strength. Which one will be readily donating? H plus ion. HSO3F ആണ്. Because the pK value നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ pK value ഏറ്റവും കുറവ് വരുന്നതിനാണ് acidic strength ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ. So the order is HSO3F is a super acid എന്നാണ്. ഇതിനെ വിളിക്കുന്ന പേര് super acid ആണ്. acidic strength ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതലുള്ളവനാണ്. HSO3F super acid under the category of super acid. So the correct option is HSO3F. maximum acid strength, then H3O plus, then HSO4 minus, and the least one HCO3 minus. So the order, increasing order when you are writing HCO3 minus less than, H3O plus less than, HSO4 minus less than, HSO3F. Actually that answer we are writing on the basis of pKa value. We cannot find out or we cannot by heart it all the pKa value. But acid strength, you just know this is under the category of which acid? Super acid. The next one, the compound that is not a Lewis acid. The compound that is not a Lewis acid. Options are BF3, AlCl3, BeCl2, SnCl4. Answer is AlCl3. Act as Lewis base because it is electron deficient species are AlCl3. It is capable for accepting electron pair. Which one? AlCl3. So BF3 ക്ക് electron pairs aboron aluminum ഒരേ ഗ്രൂപ്പിലാണ്. BF3 ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, AlCl3 ഓപ്ഷൻ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. We choose AlCl3. Why we not choose BF3? Due to its backbonding tendency ഉണ്ട്. ഫ്ലൂറിൻ ഇലക്ട്രോണിറ്റി വളരെ കൂടുതലാണ്, സ്മോൾ സൈസ് ആണ്. So BF3 ക്ക് ആ ടെൻഡൻസി കുറവാണ്. ഏത് ടെൻഡൻസി? ലൂയിസ് ബേസ് ടെൻഡൻസി. ബട്ട് AlCl3 ക്ക് കൂടുതലാണ്. അലുമിനിയം ലാർജ് സൈസ് ആണ്, ക്ലോറിൻ ലെസ് ഇലക്ട്രോണിറ്റി ആണ്, ബാക്ക്ബോണ്ടിങ് ടെൻഡൻസി കുറവാണ്. Okay, like that you will write a number of questions you can practice acid base concept. Then pH value, pH ന്റെ calculation നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. OH minus 7 concentration തന്നിരിക്കുന്നെങ്കിൽ pH calculate ചെയ്യാൻ ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ H plus OH minus കൊണ്ട് multiply ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ 10 to the power minus 14. അതിൽ നിന്ന് ആദ്യം H plus ന്റെ concentration കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ pH calculate ചെയ്യണം. പിന്നെ acidic buffer action questions, solubility product, then acidic basic strength, salt, electrolysis of salt, different category, weak acid or weak base, like that എല്ലാ ഫോർമുലയും അത് ഒരു ലിസ്റ്റ് ആക്കി വെച്ചിട്ട് പഠിക്കുക. അതിനകത്ത് മിനിമം 2 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എപ്പോഴും ചോദിക്കാറുണ്ട്. 2 മെജോറിറ്റി ന്യൂമറിക്കൽ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ആണ് ഇവിടെ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ നല്ലൊരു ഫോർമുല തറവായിരിക്കുന്ന ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ കേട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഏത് ഫോർമുലയാണ് നമ്മൾ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തതെന്ന് കറക്റ്റ് പഠിച്ചെങ്കിൽ, നല്ലോണം അത് പഠിച്ചെങ്കിലേ നമുക്ക് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്ത് പെട്ടെന്ന് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. പ്രാക്ടീസ് വെൽ കെമിക്കൽ ഇക്വിലിബ്രിയം. ഇക്വേഷൻസ് എല്ലാം എഴുതി വെച്ചിട്ട് പെട്ടെന്ന് കാൽക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പഠിക്കണം ഇക്വേഷൻസ്. Like that you have to practice. Okay. So I hope you all of you understood somewhat idea from chemical equilibrium, and then you have to practice more number of questions. With the solution also you have to check it.